update the review info headers and double check that my Chrome isn't pointing at anything particularly secret. And yeah, okay, looks like we're good. Oh dear, I see warning. What's this say? Warning. I don't know. It's recommending I decrease my keyframe interval. I guess I'll try that. I mean, not for this stream, but for another one. Anyways, cool. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring up the sparkprs.appspot.com. It's just sort of my go-to place for figuring out what pull requests I want to review. And I'm also just going to go ahead while that's loading, compose a little tweet. So then we go here, and we'll select that. Okay, cool. And so this shows the pull requests that I authored, and then also the ones that I reviewed that are being updated. Spark Summit. Okay, and there we go. There we go. Okay, so this was updated 15 hours ago. So yeah, that's almost certainly been updated since the last time I had a chance to look at it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one. And we'll also take a look at this one updated 4 days ago. I think that might be me. I think the update might have been that I commented on it. So we'll take a look at those two really quickly, and we'll sort of see how they go. Okay, so what are the comments on this one? Here we go. What changes were proposed in this pull request? Okay, yeah, so this fixes the toLocalIterator. It fixes it in a slightly so the description says it fixes it when toLocalIterator goes out of scope, but it actually fixes more than that. It fixes the memory that's used by toLocalIterator. Cool. Yeah, okay. So Brian, we've been talking about the tests, and he's mentioned that he was having some difficulty with it. Sounds good. Sounds good, Brian. And so if you're at Spark Summit this week, we can catch up in person about the difficulty with the tests. Otherwise, do that whenever. And so let's just to verify that this behavior is actually what we would expect. Actually, wait, I got another idea about how to verify this behavior. Let's go. I have another idea on how we can verify this behavior change. Parallelize a collection and do a map. Throws on the last element with two partitions and do a toLocalIterator and in the old version it should fail. But in the new version, it should not fail. What do you think about that test? That as a test. And that's just because in the old version of toLocalIterator, all of the elements were consumed. But in the new version of toLocalIterator, only the elements that you consume are consumed. Not quite. Only the number of partitions that are required to serve the number of elements that you consume are consumed. And so this would be a way to test the fix there. And so that would be kind of cool. Let's go look at this fix wrapper behavior of rows. What the last comment was. Was it me? Okay. It was me, but there was a thumbs up from Felix, but the person who was talking about this, who we asked if they wanted to work on this, hasn't responded, so that might not be going anywhere. Okay, cool. Let's go look at the new changes in Python. Really not all that much. Okay, add SparkML interaction transformer to PySpark. Interesting. 105 lines. That is not small. Scala language existentials. Interesting. And, yeah, that one's not so exciting. Cost and code generating. So explain. Ooh. Yeah, that one's mine. I need to fix it. Anything interesting in Kubernetes that's recent that's small enough for us to reasonably take a look at today? These are all a little big to try and do in the span of half an hour. I meant to come back to this one last week, but life got a little busy, so I think this might be one that, if it's still open, end of the week, we might take a look at it. Okay, cool. So we did look at that, and we left a useful comment on it, hopefully. We looked at this, but we didn't really do anything with it. So add SparkML interaction transformer. Okay, what words? See review. Okay, let's go take a look at the files changed. Okay, so they added interaction example. That's cool. Having examples is nice. That's good. Implements a feeder. Takes any double and vector type columns and outputs a flattened vector of their feature interactions. Version added is 3. This is the relatively standard initialization. This is a relatively standard doc test for it. That's pretty good. That's solid. Set params for it, and that's just got input column and output column. We want to check, so it inherits, has input calls, has output calls, and it has Java ML readable and Java ML writable. Interestingly enough, there's no test for that part. Like, we don't test the saving of it, which is not great. This is relatively minor, but since this implements Java ML readable, and Java ML writable, it might be reasonable to have a test for the rewrite, either in the doc tests or in tests.py. Doesn't have to be very involved, just taking model and round tripping it. Read it. Would not have to be. Yep, there we go. Let's go into start review mode. Let's that. So the other thing that we want to do is go look at interaction.scala probably. This is in a different project, so we're going to go over to Spark. The first feature was instead nominal categories. Whatever. The main thing that I'm looking for here is to see if, like, we're exposing everything that makes sense for us to expose from the Scala API. I'm confused why that's public. Oh, it's because the class is private. Sure. Okay, yeah, this looks pretty reasonable. Ooh. Alright, cool. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll say thanks for working on this. Thanks for working on this. One small suggestion around additional tests that we could do. That's just because, like, I think it would be good to you know, smoke test the read write, just because I feel better with those tests. But, like, you know, this is not the end of the world if we don't. So we'll just go ahead and we'll submit that review really quickly. Oh, yeah, Brian said LGTM pending tests. That being said, just want to be clear, I'm okay with this as is, but if we want to add the tests, add a read-write smoke test, I think that would be a good addition. That's just, you know, I don't want to hold people up, but I do like slightly higher test coverage, I think, than necessarily everyone. So, you know, if no one objects, we'll do that. Yeah. Oh, I don't have the history necessarily required for this, but let's take a look at this. Hello, Scala community. I like existential types from the language. Oh. Oh. Oh, there's some more discussion over here in Dottie. Yeah. Where did the conversation end? Another way to read them. Yeah. Whoa, God. this is a little too off in the weeds. So it sounds like it might go away, and if we really cared, we could go and try and figure out why this feature might be going away in the future. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Yeah. This seems reasonable to a large degree. Yeah, I also think the time to do this is before 3. Let's go take a look at the files that are changed. Okay. Yeah, for the most part, this is making the API a little nicer to read. We're getting rid of a lot of any's, it looks like. Yeah, this looks really good at a sort of high level. Yeah. Oh, we don't need the key value types anymore as things a sequence file. That's kind of nice. Let's look at the Python related changes as well, because that will maybe give us an idea of how the API is going to impact people. Let's go ahead and look for .py. No instances of .py. Okay, let's look for Python Hadoop utils. Okay. I mean, on the Python side, these all look like good improvements. And a lot of the, I mean, there's additional templates, but they're all in private. So this looks fine from a Python point of view. 31 instances of that. Okay. This is all in Python RDD, right? Or is there another Python related file? Python MLlib API. Yeah, that looks fine. So I can't say this too much more broadly, but like, because I haven't had a chance to look at this. I like these cleanups. The Python part look reasonable to me. But that is just a small sliver of the files touch. Yeah, and so that's, I mean, I don't have the time to make a more general comment. I like this change. I really want to get it in. I think this looks great. Kind of happy it showed up under Python. Got a chance to look at it quickly. Oh, the v1 memory sync. Yeah, okay, that's probably good for Python. Let's look at machine learning. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, this is from 2 years ago. Wow, code. Okay. Ooh. Okay, where did this leave off? Yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. This was Spark QA from 4 days ago, but really this is from 2017. SPR is not current, despite it being at the top of the list. Let's go take a look. Yeah, this was also last updated in 2017, realistically. Okay, so these PRs are just, I mean, there's no point in reviewing them unless there's like actual recent human interaction on them. Aggregate. Yeah. Okay, actually, you know what? This is probably a pretty okay place for us to stop. Let's take a quick glance at this one, so I got some context for later on in the week, just so that we have an idea of what this PR is going to be going after. Oh yeah, this would be lovely. Okay, where's this? These are all outdated comments. What's the latest conversations around this? Yeah. Okay, yeah. This is not a small change, 540 lines, but huh. Well, support client dependencies with Hadoop compatible file system. Okay. Is Kubernetes cluster mode driver? This is confusing, I think, but that's all right. Standalone Mesos Kubernetes. So it used to be. Wait, what? Propagate attributes for dependency resolution at the driver side. Cluster, conf key, yeah. Okay, rename resource to local file system. Wait. Local. Use local. I'm not. Whatever. GitHub review. Okay. okay, yeah. This is yeah, this is going to be interesting to review. I think next week we can dig into this more on Friday. Yeah, I think this is going to be probably the focus on Friday's review. I don't feel like we're going to get a lot out of it today. But interestingly enough, sort of as a quick summary, we came up with a suggestion for how to test this one, because the latest conversation with Brian had been about the difficulty of testing this, and so came up with an alternative suggestion for him, which doesn't quite test the exact behavior that this description of the PR has, but it does test the incidental behavior that is fixed. So it might not be ideal, but it's probably better than no tests, so that's something. Then we looked at this, which looks really cool. It looks like our types would get a little bit nicer. I'm pretty excited about that. We only really looked at it fairly quickly. I'm also going to give this a thumbs up reaction because it looks cool to me. I like this cleanup, and we can take a longer look at it another time if we need to. But we'll probably come back and spend more time looking at this example, this change, which is the support client dependencies with a Hadoop compatible file system. And this is really useful for Kubernetes users, because right now, if you've got a local jar that you want to use, you sort of manually have to upload it somewhere, and that can get kind of tiring and boring and not a lot of fun. So this would be good functionality to be able to get in for Spark 3. That being said, Spark 3 is a ways away, so there's no huge rush on it, but I think this is important functionality for us to work on supporting. So thanks for joining me for today's sort of impromptu quick stream. I hope, if you're in San Francisco, I hope to see you around Spark Summit, and maybe catch up with you all there. I'm going to go make another pot of coffee and try and debug some SSL issues that I've been running into this morning. My life is super exciting and full of lovely software. Have a great one, y'all.